All right, I just want to touch on something right quick. I noticed on the news this morning, or just a little while ago, that they finally charged that cop piece of shit who killed George Floyd. Um, the way they charged him with third-degree murder and manslaughter, that just screams fucking corrupt bullshit to where they ain't really gonna do shit to that cop. And honestly, that fucking cop should be took out back and somebody should put a goddamn bullet in his head for killing that man. The charges that prosecutor is bringing against him are weak as fuck. It's a clear sign that prosecutor really doesn't want to charge the cop with fucking murder, even though it's flat out murder. The fucking whole country has seen that. And the black community has a fucking legitimate reason to be fucking pissed off. I mean, this shit is happening way too much. It shouldn't be happening at all. And I see videos of this kind of shit every fucking day. And this shit's got to end. And with the charges that prosecutor is bringing against that cop, that's only going to ignite this powder keg that is fucking about to explode. I don't know if you're paying attention or not, but shit's about to ignite. And those weak ass charges that they brought against that cop is only going to make it worse. It's not going to make it better. He needs to be charged with a fucking serious murder one. Nothing less. Because anything less is a fucking insult to the family. It's an insult to the family. It's an insult to the fucking community. I mean, it goes against every fucking moral fiber in your being. Charging him with that lame fucking charge. Now, I don't know about the rest of you, but I watched that video. I seen what that cop did. I seen what the other cops did. And they're all culpable. And they should all be held accountable. It's fucking disgusting. Watching what that piece of shit did to that man, it's hard to watch. You know, and I don't have a hard time watching anything, really. But watching that's disturbing. That'll fuck with you. And nobody should have to go through that. And the color of your skin should not warrant how you're treated by the police. The police are supposed to be here to protect and to protect and serve, and not fucking be judge, jury, and executioner all in one. But unfortunately, here in America, we've got a law enforcement system that has let these cops get away with this shit for far too long. If it doesn't end, shit's gonna get bad. And who can blame anybody for getting pissed off about this? I'm pissed off about it. I don't know the man, but I'm pissed off about it. As should everybody else be. Yes, there are good cops, but there's some fucking shitty cops too. And we've witnessed that countless times, over and over. I don't want to see some shit like that happen to my friends. I have two godsons that I worry about that shit. I worry about whether or not something like that's going to happen to them. Just because they ain't white or, they're black. And they're men. They're not men yet, but they will be. And they'll have to live with that fear if shit don't change. So we as a nation got to come together and figure out some way to change this shit so that the black community can feel safe in their own fucking communities anywhere they go. It don't matter. Walk into the store. They shouldn't have to fear whether or not they're going to get killed. So I just want to say to the family of Mr. Floyd, I'm sorry for your loss. I stand with you. It's disgusting what those cops did. I honestly would love to get my hands on that son of a bitch and choke him out and put him to sleep. But I do think that the charges that they're brought against him, it's lame. That's just a way to not really prosecute that motherfucker. And they're going to find a way to let him off. I'm telling you now. They're going to find a way to let him off. And when they do, this shit is going to explode. If they think it's bad now, they ain't seen shit. Because now it's bigger than Mr. Floyd. It's bigger than just Mr. Floyd's death. And the country's about to fucking figure that out. And then everybody's going to see we are on the cusp of a fucking monumental change in the history of our country. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming down the pipe right now as I speak. This shit has to change. It's gonna either change or some real shit's gonna start happening. And that's just the plain fucking facts. So again, to the Floyd family, I'm sorry for your loss. I know it's tough. But we standing with you. And we want to see this change just as much as you do. Alright. So, while I'm out here working on our patio, I have another thought about this deal with the murder of Mr. Floyd. The prosecution really doesn't seem like they want to be prosecuting this cop, which is a familiar scenario in this country. So, my thought is this. We elect governors, we elect mayors, we elect senators, we elect presidents, we elect judges. So, why can't we, as a country, elect a special prosecuting team that does strictly police prosecution across the entire country, to where they have the ability to go to any state to prosecute any law enforcement officer anytime something like this or any questionable police brutality comes about? Why can't we elect a special prosecution team of the people from the very community that these law enforcement officers are victimizing. Why can't we elect this group of people that come from those communities, that then those communities will have faith that these prosecutors, these special prosecutors, will actually seek justice for the injustices that are going on in this country. If we can elect judges, and we can elect anybody else really, mayors, senators, you name it, sheriffs, if we can elect those, why can't we as a people elect a special prosecution team that is made up of individuals from the communities where these officers are actually victimizing these people? Because when you have these rich old white dudes that are from the suburbs who are buddies with these law enforcement officers, and they're supposed to be the prosecutors, it's not going to work. It never does. Most of these cops walk. I mean, look at the charges they brought against this cop. 3rd-degree murder and manslaughter? Are you kidding me? That's the charges you bring against this dude? Nah, this dude deserves murder 1, no less. And we shouldn't accept it. We shouldn't accept the fact that they're gonna just straight out not give a damn and do what they can to make sure this cop walks, because that's what's going to happen. That's what that prosecutor has in mind. But yeah, why can't we elect a special prosecution team that does strictly law enforcement prosecution? Anytime law enforcement is involved in a questionable situation, such as the George Floyd incident, the murder, that prosecution team comes in and takes over. Not the prosecution or the prosecutor that is over that county or is appointed by somebody in that county. Nah, that shit just ain't cutting it. It ain't been working. That's a flawed scenario. I mean, just look at the situations that's happened in the past and the cops that have walked. Just like the cop who choked out Mr. Garner. What happened? Dude walked. Nothing happened to him. That's a disgrace. That's a stain on the very fabric of this country. And somebody with some sway, because I ain't got no sway. I'm just a white dude from North Carolina, from the South, that sees what's going on, is disgusted by it, and wants to see some change. But I don't have the sway to go in to, say, the Congress or the Senate and propose something like that. Propose setting up a special committee of prosecutors just to prosecute law enforcement officers. Then nothing else. Nothing else. And there are plenty of attorneys across this country in these communities where these people are being victimized that are more than qualified to do the job. There's no reason that in this country, with the way we elect people, that we can't elect a committee like this. Hopefully somebody sees this and it makes sense to them, and what I'm saying is logical to somebody else besides just me. Because I think if we did something like that and we had a committee like that and a special team of prosecutors like that, I think then the accountability factor that these law enforcement officers throw to the wind, just total disregard because they feel untouchable, I think then they'll realize, oh, wait a minute, I can't do that because that team of prosecutors is going to come after my ass. That's the only thing that I can think of that we can do as a country that's going to do some significant change. So if you see this video, share it, please. I hope the right person sees it and understands my idea and my logic and how I'm thinking and where I'm coming from with this, because honestly, something's got to give. And the regular old white dudes that do the prosecuting on all the other issues of cop violence and just straight disorder is not working. It's evident. It's clear as a bell. These cops walk. It's time they stop walking. And, well, no, they can keep walking, but they need to be walking their asses straight to prison. That's where they need to be going, just like anybody else. Just because they're cops, they're not above the law. And that's the problem. Right now, we have a system set up to where the cops feel and think that they're above the law. They're not. So please, share this. Hopefully the right person will see it that can take an idea and take it to the right place and make it happen.